Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a really good time last night and yesterday. Just so many great sessions, so much energy in the room, in all the rooms. It was really fun to see. You're going to receive an email. You receive a lot of emails from us, but you'll receive one after the event is over, with a survey asking just for feedback on how the overall event is run. And I want to remind you, in the app itself is where we're collecting feedback for the individual sessions. It's really helpful to the session speakers and the planners to see the feedback to those individual sessions. So if you attended one, if you liked it, had a neutral time, please let us know because all of your feedback is helpful in that front. I wanted to emphasize again the sponsors who really made this event possible through their generous contributions. In particular, Accenture and DTCC, who helped with not only the Accenture Silver sponsorship, but also sponsorship for the diversity scholarships, which enabled many people to attend and many new voices to attend the event who otherwise wouldn't be able to be here. And then some of our sponsors have some interesting announcements coming out this week that I wanted to highlight. Blockchain technology partners and Digital Asset have worked together to support the DAML smart contract language on top of Hyperledger Bezu, and that adds to support for DAML on top of Fabric and Sawtooth. So as a way to kind of bring together a really interesting smart contract language across our different frameworks, that's really great to see. Chainstack also, who is sponsoring here and has a booth next door, announced that they're the first managed services provider to offer Fabric 2.0 as a managed service, which is pretty cool, pretty awesome to see. So give them some love as well at some point today. And then I want to highlight Sovereign. The Sovereign Foundation is another nonprofit, really a sister project to ours. They're doing really important work in the digital identity space, trying to build this kind of global overlay network, unifying kind of the digital identity world. And they have a booth over there as well. They've also launched a new membership program, and so they also deserve some of your attention and focus today, if you can. I also really want to thank Amazon Web Services, who came in as a sponsor for us. They weren't able to join us here in Phoenix, but they have made very large investments in staff and in supporting Hyperledger Fabric on AWS as a managed service. So that's been really cool to see, and we look forward to more Amazon engagement in our community going forward. And of course, many of our other sponsors, Hitachi, IBM, NTT Data, and then some of our new members like FabDep and Microsoft and SecureKey. It's been great to see their involvement here at the event and really look forward to their continued involvement in the community. There's a few things happening today I really want to highlight. Of course, lots of great content. As I said yesterday, you will get FOMO. It's okay. You'll be able to catch a lot of the sessions you missed on video. But at 10:30 in the sponsor showcase is the mentee poster session. This is where the folks who participated in our mentorship program last year will be talking about the projects they worked on. And if you're interested in serving as a mentor, it's a great way to learn what is the impact of some of these projects. So definitely check that out. And a reminder that at lunch, at many of the tables, we have kind of themes that we call them our BOF, or birds of a feather kind of tables. So if you're interested in those topics, please try to find those tables and engage in those conversations. Find your fellow birds, I guess. And then at 6 p.m. Back here, after the day's sessions are done, we'll have a closing Q&A, which will be your chance to kind of gather around, ask me any questions you'd like, but also ask really the community, because a lot of those questions I'll reflect back out to many of you. So it's a great way. This is a tradition we started last year at Global Forum, and we do at many of our events. So it's a nice way to do that. And then immediately following that, we will jump on buses and head out to the evening event. So join us for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Now I'd like to tell you just a bit about what's coming up this morning. Later on, we'll have, after our first speaker, we'll have Arnaud Lehors, who's the chairperson of the Technical Steering Committee, kind of giving you an update on where the technical community at Hyperledger is at. We'll have Sheila Warren, who's the oversees blockchain initiatives for the World Economic Forum, one of my former employers, actually, up here telling you about many of the amazing projects they're working on. But right now, I want to introduce you to somebody, but many of you perhaps already know, Don Tapscott. Don is the co-author of Blockchain Revolution, How the Technology Behind Bitcoin and Other Cryptocurrencies is Changing the World, and he's co-founder of the Blockchain Research Institute. So that book, by the way, was my introduction to this space, really, to try to scratch below the surface and figure out really what's going on. And those first 100 pages of that book still really hold up as a way to understand the mechanics of these systems and why they could have a big impact. I felt it would be great, 4 years after I read the book, and a lot of us kind of dove into this space, for us to kind of get an update on where we are from his perspective and understand how the landscape has changed. And the Blockchain Research Institute that he founded and runs, he'll tell you more about, but is doing a lot of really good research mapping the landscape for blockchain technology opportunities in all these different sectors and really what's going on deeply. He is one of the world's leading authorities on the impact of this technology on business and society. Sadly, he was not able to be here in person due to illness, but he still generously offered to participate by video, and he's got a couple of videos that he'll show as well. So he is joining us remotely. Allow us to welcome Don. Thanks.